What's the good word, y'all? It's your boy DKB here. So, in the midst of Aaron Rodgers' season-ending injury, we're already getting rumors out there. We have on the one side that the New York Jets have already started reaching out to veterans across the league, which insinuates that they definitely still want to have a presence in that room, which may also indicate that Aaron Rodgers may not be able to necessarily return to the team this season, in an on-field capacity, maybe even in terms of being into the building, right? We still need to figure out what a surgery date looks like, if he has the will to return, and of course, how he plans on rehabilitating himself. Will that be at the facility? Will he travel back to California where he's more comfortable with the setup out there? Is a lot of question marks in that regard. But for this specific situation, and we may break down some other quarterbacks later, Colin Kaepernick's agent has reached out to the New York Jets, and of course, he's informing that he's interested in joining the team. We know that realistically, there's a job available there. He may not even win the starting job, right? Let's just put it out there. But it's worth kind of investigating and talking through the advantages and disadvantages of having a guy like Colin Kaepernick in the building. And it's so interesting. I kind of tried to do a quick recap, and even when you Google Colin Kaepernick, he's not listed as a NFL football player, even an ex NFL football player. They have him as an American civil rights activist on there to let you know how far removed it's been from having him in a actual football setting. Nonetheless, we haven't really seen him since 2015, I believe. And as far as veterans go, it is kind of a stretch to call him that, right? He has 69 games of experience, which I think Zach Wilson has about 29 games played or start. So, you're only talking about another 2 or 3 seasons worth of games over what Zach Wilson has. Obviously, he was pretty effective within those seasons, though, but you're still not talking about a guy that was, upper top tier. He was a new quarterback in a new style of offense that was being revolutionized in the league, right? Greg Roman coordinating the NFL's version of the pistol offense, and of course within the confines of what Harbaugh essentially liked to run with his power and gap concept. So knowing all of that, the best translatable skill set for a guy like Colin Kaepernick into our offense is the fact that he was pretty good in utilizing play action over the course of his career. Other than that, from a schematic standpoint, pistol, we're not running a ton of concepts out of there. We don't run a ton of power schemes or gap schemes, being a West Coast offense. And with Nathaniel Hackett building this offense to be centered around Aaron Rodgers, we're even more so removed from that because we're talking about true old classic West Coast offensive principles here. So you have to wonder what the fit would be, and of course, how much wisdom he can impart into a guy like Zach Wilson when he hasn't seen a league in almost a decade. He's still been having workouts and stuff, and even with new talent, I've seen some of the tweets and stuff from Jalen Waddle and CeeDee Lamb, guys like that from his recent workouts, still saying Colin Kaepernick has it. You love the fact that at 35 years old, he's not too far gone. Also, the wear and tear is pretty much non-existent. And I've seen some of the workouts; they look good in terms of the arm strength and his ability to still go out there and move and do different things like that. But I don't think this is a seamless fit. I think Nathaniel Hackett will still be hard pressed to figure out how he can get the most out of his skill set within what we want to do. But still, this is essentially a plug and play option. And I got to be honest, I don't love a lot of the other veteran names out there. If we do get into them, some of the names off the top, Matt Ryan, currently an analyst, and he seems like he's ready to pull out at any moment. But I hated what I've seen with him during his Colts run. We have Carson Wentz. And when he looks good, he looks like a hell of a player, right? We have to remember he was almost an MVP if it wasn't for his injury. But when he looks bad, he's downright, Zach Wilson. So if we're already starting there, it's not too much of a rise for us. And then you're talking about guys like Joe Flacco. He still wants to make a return. He has some familiarity, although we do have a new coaching staff. And then Colt McCoy, old backup quarterback that we used to have, had a little bit of a run. But again, I don't love the options overall. But if we are going to go out there and try to pick up a veteran, unfortunately, as much as I still would love to see Colin Kaepernick in football, this just doesn't seem like it would be the right fit. It would be interesting to see if we do go as far as to even offer him a workout or anything like that. And I do love the dual threat element that he will bring, which you're not going to get a ton out of from the guys like Joe Flacco, Colt McCoy, Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan. The elusiveness that he's going to bring will also be able to help out. So playing styles, he may be able to help out Zach Wilson, but to be honest, I think we're still looking at a trade here if we want to try to keep the expectations sky high and prove that we can be a playoff team and still have hopes to achieve the Super Bowl. But right now, looking at the options that are just available without us having to do anything crazy, we may as well stick with Zach Wilson. But again, hearing the news, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a veteran in here. We've made these mistakes before, even though we have a better coaching staff surrounding Zach Wilson. You're still going to want that person that's on the field out there that can help talk, things through him in between plays. And yes, Todd Downing, Rob Calabrese and stuff can get that done. But Aaron Rodgers was always supposed to be that guy. That's been taken away. You want another guy that he can have immediate confidence in, and ideally that can take the reins of this offense and just get done what we need to get done, which is not much, right? Without having to change a lot of what we're already installing as well, right? Bringing in a quarterback and not being able to run through a lot of what we tried to install this offseason, which was already going to be brand new to a certain degree for a lot of our players, would kind of seem to be a hindrance this early, especially again with this early portion of the schedule that we got. So I don't know. I wouldn't hate a lot of these moves. I wouldn't love a lot of them either. That's kind of the position that we're stuck in at this time. But let me know what you guys think about potentially giving a guy like Colin Kaepernick a shot. And if you would ideally choose him over some of these other guys that we mentioned, these aging talents that have kind of essentially moved on and they're just lingering around hoping something comes available. But let me know what you think, and I'll catch you guys again. Peace.